Not to mention that G2 Blacklist, this Corki pickup still is a very flexible one. And whenever we see them go for the Corki, they really want the Dragons, right? And we know the stats. All throughout the playoffs, all the Dragons in the game, G2 Blacklist, the first Dragons, was on their side. So whenever you pick up the Corki, the power of the package, the special delivery, right, it can really at least gift you those objectives. So that will definitely be something that will be closely monitoring. KT.RY still going for the Aatrox, and we have to remember that Aatrox got gutted and got nerfed heavily in the jungle role. So this is definitely a surprise from KT.RY.
Blade still going through for KT.RY, but G2 Blacklist, they brought this up against their matchup with CES, and Seth once again could really have a huge light coming into this matchup, as we've seen on how Draw has played it in the past, how good it is coming into having so much crowd control into their lineup, and this opens up the carries to really have a good time into the back lines.
Yeah, which brings us to the question, is it going to be the Ezreal? No, they want to fight S5 going for the Sivir. On the Hunt really is one of the tools that can win you team fights. It's a double marksman composition. And you look at the composition here by KT.RY, it's going to really be hard for Daw to find the angle. Because it's expected that, you know, against the melee champions, Sivir really does a lot of damage. All those boomerang blades, ricochets, really tends to hit the mark. KT.RY defaulting back to the 6. So it's all about playing for the late game. It's all about waiting for the scaling champions to scale up. But for G2 Blacklist, one mission in mind right now, and that is to control the Aatrox. If you control the Aatrox, you control the game.
Yeah, it's G2 Blacklist having a very teamfight-centric composition. It's teamfight that will be the name of the game here for G2 Blacklist. And as you mentioned, having to punish and having to control Aatrox will be their key here to victory coming into this matchup today. And the thing about how KT.RY built their draft is that they do not have anything that could really push Aatrox, that could push Daw's security, and having a lot more capabilities onto those team fights on how we see typically being brought out as a Sivir with an Aatrox lineup, or even Karma, nevertheless, that could really push that movement speed. In this lineup for KT.RY, individually speaking, there's none that can do that.
Alright, that's the thing, right? Not enough support, as we often expect. To really unlock the potential of the Aatrox, you kind of need the movement speed burst that comes from the Sivir, that comes from the Karma. So that could also be in consideration here by G2 Blacklist. The reason why they went for the last pick Sivir is to deny the Sivir away from KT.RY, which was genius once again. Now, with everything said and done here, at least for the early stages, KT.RY has to remember that G2 Blacklist was able to dominate the early stages of game number 1, not just through the laning phase, but also on the jungle. The invades by KT was very effective. But at least this time, there will be no invade for both sides. So it will just be a standard start overall.
Yeah, Hecarim, Aatrox coming into the early game, not really speaking a lot of volume coming into those early game battles, into those early game invades. So being a little bit more patient, being disciplined coming into the early game, not being desperate for, you know, the chocolates and the candies in the refrigerator will be netting a lot of positive for both sides of the team. And something that I really love as well, because we were having that discussion about movement speed, right? Oh, every single one coming in from G2 Blacklist nets so much benefit coming in from Golden Kites on the Hunt.
Right, and Golden Kite has to be careful though. Acrobat is also feeling the burst potential from the members of G2 Blacklist. Golden Kite was the first one to get targeted, but there to punish is Draw. At least it's, you know, relatively the same. At least in the laning phase, Ime though is feeling the pressure from Ratel. You're seeing that the laning phase is not really that easy as a Renekton. Ime really plays it so well though. Earlier he waited for the counter strike, but you're looking at the top side, right? Like there's a lot of minions heading over to the tower of Ime, and he's forced to recall, which means that Ratel will have the ability and opportunity to deny some golden XP from the top lane. kind of expected, right? Like Rattel is also always going to be one of the best laners that we have in the top lane. And you look at him right now, like he's really getting some damage into the tower, and that's a free tower play. Yeah. Right. Oh no. Okay, no more Counter-Strike though. Oh. No way. Okay. G2 Blacklist went for the same play, at least in the bottom lane, but there is no casualty to the side of KT.RY. That's a good start, and the tower plate here in the bottom lane is being gifted over to G2 Blacklist. Still, we have to credit KT.RY with that very good tower dive on the top side. Again, with Daw being level 5, and this is all just from the laning phase of Rattel. That early game level advantage is definitely a key in a 1v1 scenario, right? Him being a level 5, Renekton not yet level 5, no access to the Dominus. That just means that G2 Blacklist at least got their shield on the top side pierced through, at least for the first few minutes of the game.
Definitely is. I mean, that's the perspective that both these teams are looking forward into, and at this point in time, it's not as landslidey as we've seen coming into the prior game. This time around, KT.RY is having a really good time coming in for those back and forths, and this is the trade back coming into the top lane more specifically. How G2 Blacklist having a much harder time, because the thing is, Jax overall up against a melee matchup, that Counter-Strike is just so annoying to deal with.
Yeah, it's the main reason why Jax is pretty much one of the best defensive champions on the top side, right? Like now Draw is being forced to at least back up Ime, and you know, trying to get some of the pressure off of the Baron laner, but it's clear that Ime really is struggling to face against the Jax of Rattel. And as the game goes on, right, like without any intervention from the other champions of G2 Blacklist, Ime will just be put into a bigger and deeper hole as a whole, because Jax basically wins the late game against the Renekton.
Yeah, it is. And at this point in time, G2 Blacklist, a very patient game as they're doing. And I currently actually do love this, because the thing is, Corki and Sivir, when it comes to those early games, especially coming into level 1 to level 4, it's pretty much non-existent of their power. It doesn't reflect volume and how strong they are individually as champions. You really have to wait patiently to reach the first item coming in, the second item coming from these two champions before they're really able to show greatness in the Rift.
Exactly. Similar to the other marksmen, they still need at least one item for them to be very effective. Now G2 Blacklist is focusing. Oh, hang on, Ime.
Dangerous position. Ime already down low. Luna's still putting out that pressure.
Okay.
Dragon will be secured by the side of KT.RY, and Ime is in a bit of a pickle. Luna jumps in, denies the recall, forces out the Dominus here. But right now, with Zero coming in as well, could be no escape. Zero jumping in, knockup is there. And KT.RY secures their second kill of the game.
Yeah, Draw is here. Well, possibly.
To the rescue. Two-man CC as well. Hope for that knockup. And Draw just puts that damage onto Luna. But in the end, the damage is not enough. Ball waits patiently into the backside. But KT goes and visits him. Has sights on Daw as well. But will not pursue for the all-in.
Yeah, the advantages here by KT.RY, just the fact that they were able to finally deny a first dragon from G2 Blacklist is a positive sign for the Korean team, and G2 Blacklist was not able to capitalize on the overstay and the overextension here in the bottom lane. 2-0 kill count, and again the problem still persists. You're seeing a massive gap on the Baron side. Ime really is struggling. This is kind of expected, right? Like you lose a lane as a Renekton, it will just be a downhill battle from here on out, and they need to team fight as fire, right? By then, at least Ime will have the dominance and will have the enough damage to threaten the squishy champions, and does have the lockdown coming in from the Rootless Predator. So That's how it is, right? Like, as a Renekton, you need a team fight to recover. But it's easily being denied for the decision-making here by KT.RY.
And this is what we have emphasized, right? During the draft, even coming into the first couple of minutes into this game, that, you know what, G2 Blacklist is a team fight composition. They're heavily relying on the fact that they have On the Hunt with Sivir. But before then, you have Draw coming into the backside as well. The ultimate connects Hecarim with the onset of shadows. The fear was perfect. And now KT.RY lost a huge chunk of damage. And they have to really just play it a bit more safe. Hug the tower for now.
Yeah, this is the playmaking by Aaron in full display. Sorry, but Aaron has to be careful. Draw.
Again for the bomb. Will not connect. A 0 as well. Being deleted by Set.
What?
Draw.
That was a huge amount of damage. It felt like a punch from a Filipino icon that we know and love, right? Like that haymaker definitely put to sleep someone from KT.RY. That evens out the kill count. Draw. Another one.
Overextending it quite a bit. The flash coming from Daw connected. And that will be another kill for the side of KT.RY. World Ender already forced out. KT is a little bit in danger with a lot of sustainability onto Daw. They have to burn it for now, but soon enough, the turret will fall and KT.RY get the buy one, take one into the bottom lane.
Yeah, now they're feeling the pressure here in the top lane. They do have enough wave clear though, but it's still very dangerous, especially knowing that Zero, one of the best tower divings of course that we have in the game in the Alistar, is pretty much present, and all of a sudden KT.RY has found themselves enough separation. That's a 3-2 in terms of kill count and 2-0. I mean 2-1 in terms of towers, but nonetheless, you look at the tempo, you look at the momentum, it's really favoring KT.RY, not to mention that Daw is enjoying a 2-0-1 start today.
Yeah, and the thing is, as the phrase says, right, you have to pick your poison. And in each regard, there are consequences coming for it, and the price to pay once again for G2 Blacklist, individually speaking, here into the early game, it's not going to be as impressive. It's not going to be as landslidey as to be expected just because of how their draft has been lined up. This draft will show success coming into the following minutes. In 12 minutes to 15 minutes, wherein they're already good to go when it comes to team fighting.
Ime is really getting bullied very hard here by Rattel. I expect him to just continue to press on forward. And again, no team fights as of yet. And, you know, if there will ever be a team fight, especially when with this Aatrox being this ahead, right? He's already level 11. He will have enough damage to really threaten the squishy members of G2 Blacklist, and Aaron has to be careful. He does have the package though, which is a very good thing to have, especially when it comes to dire situations. But G2 Blacklist defending this tower so well. The package though is set to expire soon.
And look at the separation that G2 Blacklist did. Draw was there just to zone away KT.RY while they go in for the break, but KT.RY got a tier 2 in top side.
Wow. Again, the win condition of having Rattel on your side is just so pure. Just using the ultimate, lead strike, counter strike. Ime is in a pinch here once again.
In danger, has to force out the flash. The calling is there, but Ime was able to really just pursue that with a maneuverability that he has coming into the bot side of the map. Zero now forced out draw into the turret. It was just so good, but denies it with a little bit more shield, but not enough. And now Golden Kite is in danger, stuck between two champions of KT.RY as it gets pinned out, and KT.RY got a triple kill from that fight.
Signed, sealed, and delivered, and now G2 Blacklist is feeling the retaliation from the squad of KT.RY, continuing the pressure and getting a potentially another tower here in the mid lane.
Ime tanking all of these damage, but
that's
not gonna keep you alive. KT.RY, with how much they're fed, that just brought him down so easy.
Yeah, it's not as clean as game number 1. You can see it right here, right now. Luna is just enjoying a better matchup overall. KT on the Hecarim, no team fight. Really, right? Like no 5v5 team fight. It's all about the skirmishes, and so far when it comes to skirmishes, it's all KT.RY. They have the man advantage. They have all that they need to get the advantage, at least so far in the 11 minutes and 30 seconds. The only positive thing that I could think of for G2 Blacklist is it's not that big of a hole, right? Like a 2.5k goal lead. We've seen worst Right, we've seen worse. We've seen 10K, and G2 Blacklist was able to come back from those massive deficits in the past. But still, you know, we have to still credit KT.RY. They're still doing a very good job overall, and G2 Blacklist is really finding a hard time in you know, looking for the team fight that they wanted.
Indeed. Right, we have so much praise to G2 Blacklist's game number 1 with how good they performed, but we still have to remember KT.RY is one of the strongest here in APAC. They were able to beat Naos Esports, which was formerly, from what we have seen, one of the top leaderboard rankings as well coming into APAC conference. Now Zero coming into the backside has that isolation. Draw comes into fray as well. Onto the shadows into the back lines with KT having to reach down. Daw with Aatrox gone. This will be G2 Blacklist's fight, and now Rattel is in danger coming to the front lines. KT jumps in to that team fight as well, but with the numbers advantage for G2 Blacklist, they have every advantage in their pocket, and KT.RY has to respect that.
Pretty much needed break by G2 Blacklist, but it's not yet over. Rattel is here.
They're jumping back in. Rattel is in danger. Draw goes in with a CC onto 2 of the members with Zero and Rattel. Rattel leaps into the backside. Golden Kite will be the target, but with how much HP he has left, he has to retreat, and with the clutch of time, he leaps to his teammates to survive.
Rattel is still super good. Knows what needs to be done in any given situation, and was able to escape death just by using a leap strike onto a target. And now G2 Blacklist, they're feeling the pressure right now. Although, if anything, you know, that was a impressive way to shut down and slow down the rampage of Daw, and that was very much needed, right? It also exposed the fact that when it comes to a team fight, the Aatrox will just go down just from the amount of damage, and again, the draft overall here by G2 Blacklist. It's so hard to team fight as an Aatrox, and that's why they went for, you know, skirmishes from the first few minutes of the game, which they were very successful in doing so. But in a team fight scenario, right, if it's going to be a 5v5, G2 Blacklist will still have the opportunity to deal the lethal blow on towards Daw. Again, the game plan for G2 Blacklist: you control the Aatrox, you control the game.
Yeah, and the thing is, Daw cannot be as aggressive that he could be coming into that prior 5 minutes into the game, 7 minutes into the game. Now G2 Blacklist having a couple of Grievous Wounds items into their inventory already, so that will negate a lot of the sustainability with the World Ender from Daw. So KT.RY still has to really put that into perspective and put that into the equation on how they go about fights.
Yeah, no Dragon so available to be taken here by KT.RY. So if you're G2 Blacklist, you still have the opportunity to at least let go of this objective if they don't feel that the team fight is in their favor. But KT trying to get the angle for an onslaught of shadows to start a team fight. A 5v5 is what G2 Blacklist wants, especially with a package available for Aaron, but that is set to expire soon.
KT already starting up. Will not pursue for the onslaught of shadows. Baited out the culling as well. And KT.RY's micro game as well is really good. And now Draw is stuck into the middle of this fight. Ultimate's coming in over the wall, over the hills, and that will be the death of him. And now Daw with a World Ender as well with extra mobility. Zero follows through. And the CC chain from both these players. Zero and Daw connection. That was just KT.RY signal to really go all in. 3 members left for G2B with KT.RY already looking for the Baron.
Oh man, and they are on their vision right now. Rattel just has one thing in mind. Daw has to be careful though. He's already less than half health, and KT is still here to challenge this Baron.
Yeah, and you have Golden Kite as well. If they do not remove Golden Kite, the On The Hunt is still ready. And right now with the Stasis Ancient as well, but time for KT.RY. Rattel brings down Silver, and now it's Ime who will be not connect onto those team fight as well, as KT is already being chased out. Baron Asher still being started, but KT.RY as TVs come forward, but there's no more jungler left for G2 Blacklist. There's no more opportunity for them to pursue for this objective.
And the extended team fight will definitely favor KT.RY. Not yet done though. Aaron goes in and will most likely die.
Draw goes into the backside as well and hopes to really just disassemble the back lines, but KT.RY doesn't care. And now Draw, Ime opts to go back away. They do not have much HP as well to survive. There's a Zero. Goes in with a Hex Flash over the wall. Rattel has them. The zoning capabilities of KT.RY is just too good. And now the Baron Nashor is still being started, but with 1k left, KT.RY secures the objective.
That was a long takedown of the Baron, and KT.RY was able to juggle the Baron damage so well. We have a clear advantage. The side of KT.RY, what a way to do it. First off, they know that KT is here to challenge, and again, when it comes to the Hecarim, you still have to respect the fact that the Onslaught of Shadows can traverse over the walls, and you look at the decision making here by KT.RY, right? Like, they're not going all in. They don't want a 50-50. They want to turn, they want to kill KT, and that they were successful in doing so. And the result is a Baron takedown. KT.RY going for a push. And this looks like a 1-1 after this game.
KT.RY wants to open up the gates. Mid lane already down, but the inhib turret's gone for G2 Blacklist. And KT.RY wants to utilize the Baron Nashor as well to take another inhib turret down for themselves. Mega Inferno Bomb for that initial damage. Draw coming into the back lines. Onslaught of Shadows coming in from KT. Disassembles Luna and also Acrobat. But Acrobat gone. KT.RY cannot pursue for the Nexus as well, with a 5v4 not going into their favor.
Wait, hang on. I've seen this movie before. Every time that we consider Draw and company out of the equation already, G2 Blacklist always finds a miraculous team fight. They were able to defend the bot side, and the Elder Dragon is alive for the taking here. G2 Blacklist will still have the opportunity. Draw goes in.
Eyes on Zero, but that's a tanky champion that we're talking about, and the thing is,
the
Elder Drake will be much more important, but they do not know. Daw is just around the corner, just on the surface level, jumps in over the wall as well, goes back into the hills, right quadrant. Jungle will be where the jungler is at for KT.RY, with a World Ender as well, comes in, Ime will be deleted with a blink of an eye. G2 Blacklist will falter, and now KT still alive, hoping to get that kill onto Zero. Rattel is gone, removed and deleted, and now Daw and Acrobat is the only one left standing, coming for the likes of KT.RY, but Aaron and Golden Kite cannot fight this with 1 HP. Aaron's micro game will be able to really just buy time for this, but Golden Kite, he has to reset, he has to retreat, but he's spotted, but Daw is already too low as well. The Nexus is open. KT.RY wants to end it, wants to take it down to a 1-1 series, but Golden Kite won't be able to go in for the recall already, but the Nexus shall fall, and KT.RY brings it 1-1.
It was super close, and again, that clutch cancellation of the recall was pretty much needed by KT.RY. A very well played game number 2, and we had